Consumer Council has been really busy, and they tested salts that were out in the market, and they tested 39 samples of pre-packaged edible salt, including sea salt, rock salt, table salt, iodinized salt, lake salt, and smoked salt.
大家平時飲食相信都離唔開食鹽，但係食鹽嘅品質係點？又有冇有害雜質呢？消委會測試市面39款預先包裝嘅食鹽，發現當中25款含有金屬污染物。
Some interesting highlights from these studies is that one of the Himalayan rock salts that was selling for $440 was found to have lead content that exceeded the international standards. So in general, I wouldn't want any kind of lead in my salt, but there are international standards for this, and this salt, this very expensive salt, has exceeded these levels. There were 4 brands, including the superfood brand that you see out in supermarkets now called Superfood. Their pink Himalayan salt has found to have inorganic arsenic, another type of heavy metal that is very hard to detox from our bodies. This study also brought to light a very interesting finding that microplastics were also found now in sea salts, and the Consumer Council said this was the first time they've seen microplastics in sea salt. The chairman, Honora Tam, had actually attributed this perhaps to marine pollution. Sea salt, I mean, I don't know what's better. Heavy metals in our Himalayan salt or microplastics in our sea salt. So of the 39 salt samples tested, there were 4 sea salt that were found to have microplastics, and one of them was from the City Super branded sea salt. So what's my response to this? Well, in general, the WHO recommends about 2,000 milligrams of salt per day, but that is not added salt. So remember that we do naturally have sodium in our food, in our cucumbers, tomatoes. What you can do is also opt more for the herbs and the spices rather than being more heavy-handed on the salt. So I do use salt myself, but I tend to like to prefer using things like basil and coriander and oregano, turmeric, cumin. These all just bring flavor out into your food, and you don't have to necessarily rely on salt. Of course, salt that is safe can provide a lot of great minerals as well, but with this Consumer Council finding, I myself am more cautious now of just how much salt I'm putting into my food and my recipes, the type of salt that I'm using, but also opting to use more herbs and spices. Now, of course, your herbs and spices also might have some of like pesticides and things like that, and that's why I'll also go for organic, or you can grow your own. You can have your own basil pot at home and your own parsley pot at home, and that will help also lighten up the home. So that's it for In the News on Food for Life TV. Stay well, and I'll catch you guys next time.